LAPD has already arrested several suspects in connection with the graffiti and are asking for the public's assistance to identify more suspects. LA City Council has given the now bankrupt Chinese developers until February 17th to begin the cleanup of the building. Now, many of the flights that experienced mid-air malfunctions came here to LAX for emergency landings. The Justice Department has now opened a criminal investigation into the Alaskan Airlines incident from January. Reporting for Beach TV News from LAX, I'm Anthony Orrico.
Younger voters also overwhelmingly favor Democrats this election, with 60% of the 18 to 29-year-old vote going to the party. And with less than half of Gen Z of voting age, they will continue to make impacts in the 2024 election and beyond.
As you can see behind me, the protests at the University of California, Irvine are still very much ongoing. Students set up this encampment in the middle of campus last Monday and have been here ever since. They are seeking for their university to divest from Israel and disclose all investments that the university is involved in. The university has engaged in negotiations with organizers, but no deal is yet to be reached as of now, and they've given no indication that they will forcibly remove the students until a deal is reached, and protesters have indicated that they will not disperse until a deal is reached. Onlookers have been coming all day to check out the encampment and show solidarity with the students. Reporting from Irvine for Beach TV News, I'm Anthony Orrico. Thanks, O'Reilly. An outbreak of salmonella poisoning is affecting one major grocery store chain, and if you're looking to get some cosmetic work done, especially for the summer, then here's what you need to know. Let's dive in. Thank you, Raya. Indeed, history could be happening this summer in Mexico while Iran held its own elections amidst much political turmoil. Plus, the Russian opposition leader is finally laid to rest, with new information coming out in his final days. Mexico's presidential campaigns kicked off Saturday, March 4th, and for the first time in the country's history, a woman could hold the nation's highest office. Claudia Sheinbaum, who represents the majority Moreno party, currently holds a 20-point lead over opposition leader, former Senator Xochitl Gálvez. Sheinbaum launched her campaign with a rally in Mexico City where she had served as mayor since 2018 before stepping down to run for president last June. General elections will take place on June 2nd of this year, and it is anticipated that this will be the largest election in the country's history. Iran held parliamentary elections on Friday, March 1st, as the country saw a record low turnout with little over 40% of the population casting ballots in the country's lowest turnout since the 1979 revolution. Much of the low turnout is attributed to citizens boycotting the election in protest. This is the first election since the death of Mahsa Amini, who was allegedly killed by police in 2022 for not wearing her hijab, sparking mass protests throughout the country. Conservatives in parliament kept their majority, winning 200 of the 295 seats available. 45 of the seats will be decided in runoff races later this year. The funeral for Alexei Navalny was held Friday, March 1st, as the slain opposition leader was laid to rest in Moscow. Navalny died February 16th in an Arctic penal colony where he was serving a 19-year sentence. The Kremlin denied any involvement in Navalny's death. Large crowds gathered to pay respect to the opposition leader in Moscow. Navalny's widow posted on Twitter saying, "I don't know how to live without you, but I will try my best to make you happy up there for me and proud of me. I don't know if I'll manage it or not, but I will try." Navalny's mother had been in a fight with prison authorities for a week, attempting to retrieve his body from the Arctic penal colony. According to an associate of Navalny's, a prisoner exchange between the German and Russian governments had been in the final stages of talks. The exchange would have included Navalny as well as a Russian hitman in a German prison, as well as 2 U.S. nationals. The ocean-wide plaza has been turning heads and frustrating city officials for several weeks now, as the 3 abandoned high-rise buildings have been blanketed in graffiti from top to bottom. The complex sits directly across the street from LA's Crypto.com arena and was designated to become luxury apartments, but instead have become what many city officials are calling an eyesore.
Graffiti art undoubtedly has its place, but not on public and private property, where it defaces our street and diminishes our sense of security.
But not everyone is viewing the impromptu art as a negative, and they are more concerned with the price that the city will have to pay to deal with these buildings in general.
Personally, I think this is like history in the making. It's something like you see in the 80s of New York, where you'll find abandoned buildings in the ghetto and people would go up and tag it.
LAPD has already arrested several suspects in connection with the graffiti and are asking for the public's assistance to identify more suspects. LA City Council has given the now bankrupt Chinese developers until February 17th to begin the cleanup of the buildings.
So what I understand is the taxpayers are gonna pay for the security and like the fences and stuff like that. But to be honest, I don't know what they're gonna do with this building.
Many street artists from around the world say they do not consider the graffiti to be vandalism, but rather legitimate art. LAPD says they will have round-the-clock patrols to ensure that no more graffiti takes place. For Beach TV News, I'm Anthony Orrico. Terror in the skies. An Alaskan Airlines door plug coming off mid-flight. A United Airlines flight landing gear falling off upon takeoff. The beginning of 2024 has brought with it a string of aviation-related malfunctions that are bringing increased scrutiny to the industry from both the public and the government. According to the Federal Aviation Administration, 11 incidents involving United flights have occurred over the last several weeks, including a plane sliding off the runway at Houston's George Bush Intercontinental Airport due to its landing gear collapsing. In a letter sent to customers, United CEO Scott Kirby said, "Safety is our highest priority, is at the center of everything we do." United said in a statement to employees that they will be under increased scrutiny and oversight from the FAA and have paused several certifications while undergoing this process. Despite these incidents seemingly dominating the news cycle, it has done little to raise concerns among Los Angeles International Airport travelers.
I have a lot of confidence in the aerospace industry. I think the safety record is still way above the safety record of virtually any other mass transportation.
Even international travelers felt confident in the safety of air travel within the United States.
On the whole, I'm not scared, but as soon as like a little bit of turbulence happens, all those I then find it very I then become very scared.
To be honest with you, I hadn't paid much attention to it. I'd heard about it, but I didn't know that it was like particularly common recently.
Now, many of the flights that experienced mid-air malfunctions came here to LAX for emergency landings. The Justice Department has now opened a criminal investigation into the Alaskan Airlines incident from January. Reporting for Beach TV News from LAX, I'm Anthony Orrico. Tonight,
wake up, America.
California Governor Gavin Newsom is hitting back
Wake up to what Donald Trump is doing.
at President Trump's push for Texas to redraw its congressional districts ahead of the 2026 midterms to help Republicans maintain their narrow majority in the House of Representatives.
But we're asking the voters for their consent to do midterm redistricting in 2026, 2028, and 2030 for the congressional maps, to respond to what's happening in Texas, to respond what Trump is trying to excite.
Flanked by numerous state and national Democratic leaders, the governor rolled out his own redistricting plan on Thursday with a rally/press conference in Los Angeles. The Election Rigging Response Act aims to nullify any gains Texas Republicans could make with their planned redistricting. Under the new map, California Democrats estimate they could add at least 5 seats in the House of Representatives and secure several swing districts as well. Newsom said on Thursday if Texas backed down from its plan, California would not go through with its new congressional map. While Governor Newsom was delivering his remarks here at the Japanese American National Museum, several federal agents converged on the scene and reportedly arrested one person. Mayor Karen Bass showed up to the scene and said it was a blatant attempt by Trump to intimidate the event and intimidate Angelenos. Newsom echoed Bass's comments after learning of the Border Patrol's presence outside the event, saying he also believes President Trump deliberately sent the agents there.
Everything you know about Donald Trump's America, and that was top down, you know that for a fact. They'll deny it, I'm sure. Maybe they won't deny it. So everything you know about the authoritarian tendencies of the President of the United States.
The White House declined to comment regarding Bass and Newsom's accusations. The governor said a special election on the new congressional map will take place on November 4th, pending approval in the state legislature, which Newsom said could happen as early as next week. For Beach TV News, I'm Anthony Orrico.